man, thoughts. Not thought, like a thought detector, because you want to see what thoughts is in the crowd. Thoughts, the thoughts inside the mind. The mind as a whole. What goes on inside the mind? Technically, if you think about but not like I know what people think, but you can be thinking about what are you going to do later, what are you going to eat for dinner, what's going to happen tomorrow, where are you going to go when you get home. Like, there's so much things that go on in the time frame of a 24-hour period where the human brain has a lot to think about. Think about thoughts, and you can't read people's thoughts. You can't read what's on their mind. It's like real talk. You don't know what goes on in people's minds. You can never imagine, as I'm recording these videos and telling you what's on my mind, you still don't know what's going on inside this head of mine. And I love it that way. So I had about, I'm going to exaggerate. I had about 89 thoughts that went through my mind today as far as topics I wanted to talk about when I was on the treadmill. Nonetheless, there's so many things I want to address, and technically, that's a good thing, because I'll have content for days. You will never get bored. As long as I keep enjoying this, I will never get bored, and it's beneficial for us all. Because today, as I was speaking so fluently, like I love to do, I mentioned that's another thing that I could teach. So when I said I can teach, I guess I never want to place myself on a pedestal. Regardless what type of pedestal it is, I do not want to place myself there. If I am placed there, that is different. Like Kobe Bryant, and everything I said in the past is my opinion. So don't get mad and don't get frustrated and don't comment that Jordan is the GOAT, because you're wasting your time. A man like Kobe Bryant, I place on the pedestal of the greatest of all time. Kobe, all he said, and this is probably what he said for the cameras, for the media, whatever it is, it's clear he loved to play basketball, but he said, I just want to be me. I just want to be Kobe Bryant. So he's being himself, but because of him being himself, I placed him on the pedestal of the GOAT. Now let me add a sticker or a GIF of a GOAT right here, because that man deserves, at the very least, that. GOAT. Kobe Bryant is a GOAT because I placed him on the pedestal of the GOAT. And even in your eyes, everybody's going to have different sources of motivation. That is guaranteed. My wife watches Instagram and YouTube often. What is she looking at most of the time? Clothes and workouts. And that's fine. It keeps her happy, it puts a smile on her face, and it keeps her in a positive state of mind. So, of course, I'm not going to think anything bad or negative about it. Go ahead, honey. Do what you got to do. I love you. I support you. And if you want me to find you different videos and help you find a video or find some clothes, I got your back. You know that. So that's what she does. Keep her happy. Keep her motivated. Other people, and it depends on what you're into, because she's obviously into fitness and she likes to work out clothes. So if you're into like sewing and knitting and dressing, if you're into drawing and sketches and art, whatever it is you're into, you're going to make sure that you find a way to keep yourself focused on those things, right? So as long as you're doing something positive to pass your time by and keeping yourself happy and afloat while we live this wonderful life that we're given, that's technically what it's all about. When I talk about my motivation, and I said my A1s will be Kobe and Pac, there is nothing taken away from John Cena. John Cena, and everybody knew, especially when John Cena was at his prime, not to say he's not anything special today, but when he was a WWE superstar and he was a world heavyweight champion, and 22 out of a 24-month period, 22 months out of a 24-month period, he was a world heavyweight champion. To carry the championship for that amount of time and not lose a match means that these scripted matches and these predetermined bouts that people are having weekly and monthly on pay-per-views, the fact that he was the one chosen to win every single time shows that this guy is your franchise player, and you do not want anything bad to happen to this guy, because he is the one that's going to put them ASSESs in the seats to make sure that your money keeps coming in for you, so the owner can continue to be a billionaire, so he can continue to get paid. So as long as he's happy and you're happy and we can make the world happy, guess what? It's a beautiful picture. It's a beautiful thing. When this guy was at his prime and at his peak, that's clearly when I had the best time following his career, because they killed his character and I was pissed about that. And I haven't watched wrestling since they killed his character. At the end of his career, they used him as a pedestal. So they used him to fight specific other wrestlers. So when they beat John Cena, now you got street cred. Street cred. You want to learn about some hood terms and some ebonics? Street cred. That's when you do something in the streets that typically would be frowned upon, and all of a sudden these dudes gonna give you some credit saying like, yeah, he's down. Oh yeah, I saw what he did. Oh yeah, he old dude on the high speed chase last week. Yeah, he bailed himself out. You know, he's still fighting the case, but whatever it is, he don't care about the fuzz. He gonna handle his business when it needs to be handled. Yeah, he's good. He can roll with us. The streets for WWE is, who have you beaten? What type of skills do you have? Where's your passion, your work ethic, and your determination? What level are you on? So if you beat John Cena, oh my goodness, that's like beating Tyson. No offense to Floyd Mayweather, Mr. Undefeated. I don't know what happened last week. No offense to Mayweather and all them other great fighters. Mike Tyson, we talk about GOATs. You want to talk about Michael Jordan? You want to talk about a GOAT? Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson. Come on now. If you beat Tyson, damn. Woo! You somebody special. So if you could beat John Cena, then damn. If you could beat Kobe, then damn. But if it don't happen, you ain't special. Since WWE is scripted, and you can choose if this person beats you or not, as long as you want that paycheck, guess what's gonna happen? So from that aspect, John Cena, long story short, that was a long story. I turned that into a long story. John Cena is a huge part of my motivation, huge part. And I know I'm doing little like it's little. Huge part. Look at all my videos in the past. Because I have old school videos on here from like 08. Look at my videos. Look at my history. It's clear as day. John Cena and Kobe Bryant are there. And because something in the heavens put it upon me to find a way to get to Michael Jackson. Put me on a whole new level of game. Not to say that Michael Jackson's taking over Kobe's spot and taking over, Pac's spot and all that stuff. It's just the fact that he was brought into my life because of an Instagram post that I made. I could reference the date and I might just have it pop up right here to say this was the date I posted this Instagram post. Since I'm working on my editing skills, and this is very basic, so it's not hard, I can also put the Instagram post right here. It's gonna be in a portrait frame instead of a landscape. So maybe I'll put it right here, just for you to see the Instagram post as well. So now you know the date and the post and how Michael Jackson came into my life. I was all about Michael back in the day. And there's obviously nothing wrong with that because Michael was king of pop. And now he's brought back to light. And now I posted today on Instagram. I said my main focus now was to finish my Heal the World video. Because I posted a video of me holding up signs at work. The first verse of Heal the World, when I'm holding up signs, I'm at work in the office and I just did an 8x10 piece of paper and I took random pictures of myself and I added text to those pictures and I made a little snippet. First I did it in my garage and I just held different little pictures, blah, 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 blah. Here I am, this is what I'm trying to do. So I asked my friends, do you want to help me on this video concept? I had about one person say yes. And he told me where he wants to do his shot. And so after that, I said, okay, we'll make it happen. And no one else was actually seemed interested or cared. Like if I wrote people directly, if I hit you on the DM, and I said, this is what I'm trying to do, this is what I want to do, do you want to help out? I'm sure I would get a yes and people willing to help. I'm not the type of person to reach out directly to ask you for your help. I want you to be willing to volunteer to help. That shows me about you and your character. Your character, that, not to say it doesn't matter. If I'm asking you for assistance or for help and you're willing to give it, like I Instead, I only had one response that said, yes, I'm willing to help. And I did have some people actually coming back and say no. So the fact that I did on Instagram post, and I had one person that said yes, it's like, cool. So that's why he was tagged today on my Instagram story. Now, if I DM'd 100 of my friends, so these are hand-chosen friends, and I'm taking the time to DM you, maybe only 75 will respond. I would get enough people, I'm sure, to make the video. Say, yeah, I'm down. What do you need? But that's because I'm hitting you up directly. I don't want to be that dude on the street corner with a sign that says, hungry, need food. 4 kids at home, please help. If you see what I'm trying to do and you like what I'm trying to do, you are going to take your time to be like, I got you. Maybe you can find a way to reflect this onto your life and how you approach people when you talk to them. And this includes your family and your friends. That may have been a sign, because I'm 2 minutes over. Think about these things in life. I didn't talk about a single thing I wanted to talk about. I referenced the subjects I want to talk about, didn't talk about them at all. And I don't mind. Because tomorrow we're going to Palm Springs. I won't be back here till, if I'm lucky, Monday. For sure, though, Tuesday. Which gives time to edit and let things, let the cerebellum rotate and all that good stuff. If this is carried away, it's going to be an 18-minute video. We'll see you guys next time. Peep the swag. Peace.